everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Annie B again. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It is Friday and you know what that means. That means it is time for another video upload. Today I'm going to be doing a blindness video. More specifically, I will be talking about Braille. Now, if you've ever seen a bathroom sign with Braille on it, or if you've gone to an ATM, a lot of times they will have Braille on it. It's bumps that we read instead of printed letters that we can feel. And it's a tactile writing system. It was actually invented in 1821 by Louis Braille. He based it on a French military code called night writing that they used to try and communicate with each other in the dark so that other people couldn't read it. And we can still read in the dark today, which I do all the time. So the first thing that you want to know about Braille is each space in Braille is called a cell, and each cell can have 1 to 6 dots. And Braille is written on this paper. It's like very thick paper. So I'm going to use this to kind of demonstrate Braille. I had to do a 10-minute presentation on Braille once to people who had never really seen Braille or didn't kind of know what it was, and I used chocolate, I'm spilling chocolate everywhere, to represent the Braille dots. So this is a big giant version of Braille. Okay, so we're going to just arrange these. So 6 dots. This is a full Braille cell. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you are sighted, you're going to read Braille, if you ever do learn how to read it, with your eyes. Most sighted people do not read it with their fingers. And this is what it's going to look like to you, except in a very teeny tiny miniature version. Now, each of these dots is numbered, and that's important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3 is on the left, 4, 5, 6 is on the right. They're vertical parallel lines of dots. And each combination of dots makes up a letter. For example, this is A, dot 1. B is dot 1, 2. C is dot 1, 4. And D is dot 1, 4, 5. I'm going to have a picture of a full Braille cell and the Braille alphabet put into this video, edited in, so you guys will be able to see that. I'm going to just show you real quick my name. So first of all, in order to make a letter capitalized, you just put a dot before it. Our capital letters and lowercase letters don't look any different except for that there's a dot. So here's the capital, that's a dot 6. Here's an A. And then an A is a dot 1, okay? N is 1, 3, 4, 5. Another N. E, which an E is a dot 1 and a dot 5. Now you see how much space this takes up? First of all, you're probably like, what? Everything looks the same. I can't really space it out any farther to show you. Maybe I can. So that, it doesn't work super well, just looks like a lot of chocolate. That is what my name looks like. I'm actually going to show you guys how we write in Braille. So I'm going to just move the chocolate off to the side. So this is the Braille writer. This thing you lift up to put in the paper. The keys are here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. New line, that brings the paper down, and backspace. And there's a space bar right here. So that's how that works. I'm like trying to hold it up. I used to be able to carry this around with no problem. I'm pretty sure we weighed this once and I think it's like 20 pounds. That's what I used to have to use all the time to write, and there was pretty much no other options. The reason that this Braille paper is so thick is because Braille literally bangs and makes holes in the paper and indents the dots into the paper. Okay. So you pull this little metal thing up and you put the paper all the way to the left, make sure it's lined up correctly, and then you roll it in. I haven't used this system in a really long time because, as you've seen in other videos, there's a lot of other technology out now that allows us to use that. And this is actually, as you can see, a little bit broken, but we're going to try and do our best to write here. So I'm going to write my name, A, N, N, E. That's my government name, you guys, actually. That's my legal name. And I'll do my last name. Dot 6, that's a capital. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, and 1, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are all, this says Ann Brady, okay? When you push this button, it's supposed to go to the next line, but it's not working right now. And then when you're ready to write again, you just take the carriage and you pull it back. It's also a little broken, so it keeps moving. And then you type again on the next line. And then when you're done, you just roll out the paper and you have this. Yeah, and this says Ann Brady. So it literally poked holes into the paper and I can feel the holes. And that is what my name looks like. I'm also gonna have a picture in here of the full Braille alphabet. Once you know what letters every number is, what numbers each letter is, then you basically know how to write Braille, but it takes a while to learn. There's also 2 different kinds of Braille. There's grade 1, which is just regular Braille, and then there's grade 2, which is shorthand. Because if you look at this, this looks really small, okay? This looks like really tiny, but Braille takes up a lot of space. I had a Harry Potter book one time, and it was 14 volumes of book for one Harry Potter book. That's how much space Braille takes up. That's why they've come out with so much technology to try and get everything done on computers and get everything eliminated and limited so that we don't have to have everything just in Braille, because I remember I used to be in, like, say, algebra class, and I would have a volume of my algebra book that would have pages 5 through 20 in it. And that was only one book, but we would always need page 25, and I'd have to go somewhere to a storage room and get a whole nother volume of the book just so that I could read it. So Braille takes up a lot of space. Grade 1 is just regular Braille. Grade 2 is shorthanded. That tries to make everything a little bit shorter. There are contractions. For example, there's a symbol for AND. There's a symbol for FOR. There's a symbol for ING. There's all kinds of different symbols. So grade 1 Braille, I would say, is probably the easiest to learn. That's what people start out with. And then once you kind of master that, then you go into grade 2 Braille and you start learning all of that. As far as numbers go, our numbers look like A through J. So the letters A through J look the same as our numbers 1 through 10, except for there's a little symbol, like your hashtag symbol, but in Braille, that says to us that that's a number and not a letter. There's also a Braille that's kind of more specifically for math. It's called Nemeth Code. It looks completely different. It's hard to explain if you don't really know a whole lot about Braille, but Nemeth Code essentially is just the kind of Braille that you use for math so that you know you're not reading letters and you're mostly just reading numbers. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found this video educational. Braille is very beneficial. You know, people say all the time, hey, you know, these people don't need, because look at this. This is heavy. I used to bring this and carry this around to my school. I would have to carry it from math class to whatever class. That's why I have muscles. I had muscles. Let's not talk about it. But this is extremely heavy, and so there are a lot of proponents at this point in time of taking Braille and making it kind of obsolete. They're saying, oh, you can take an iPhone or an iPad and do the same thing. But here's the thing. That's like me saying you don't have to learn how to write because you know how to type. You're not going to get spelling, grammar. There's a lot of nuances you're not going to get. You're not going to know the difference between there, and there because you've only ever heard it and you've never seen it in front of you. Okay, Braille is extremely important. It's definitely important that they're still teaching it today. So even though we have a lot of technologies that talk to us now, so I can use my iPhone, I could use an iPad, Braille is still an extremely, extremely important part of learning when you're visually impaired. I started learning Braille when I was 2. Apparently I asked if I was going to have to read this forever. The answer was yes. I did not really get good at it till probably about the 2nd or 3rd grade, so it took me a really long time to master, but now I could write it in my sleep. Although, again, I haven't used one of these things in years. I think the last time I used it was in high school in an algebra class. I tend to write more on my Braille note, which there is a video about. I will link to that in the description box below so you guys can take a look at that. I uploaded that just recently. And that is all that I have for you guys today. If you are interested in learning more about Braille, more about blindness, I know it seems a little bit complicated. I maybe should try and figure out a better way for you guys to see each letter. I use these because they're flat on the bottom and it's just easier to represent things with them. Plus, I might have to eat them later. But if you guys want to know anything else about Braille, anything else about blindness, anything else about what I do or the way that I write, or anything. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to see a video on, drop a comment down below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, share it with all your friends, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Annie B Videos. My name is the same for each of those sites, and that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!